How to be so full on a fat loss diet that you don't want to eat anymore. My name is Omar Ahmed, and I was able to lose 80 plus pounds within a year, and I make these videos so that they can help you. Have you always wished that somehow on a fat loss diet, if you felt full, it would be mad easy? Well, yeah, it's possible for a low price of $1,400 a month. If you mess up, here's the symptoms that you get. That's why a doctor is recommended. It doesn't remove the cravings. So if you go to Taco Bell and you get strong cravings and you decide to order $50 of Taco Bell, if you eat your first taco and you're halfway there and you feel already full and you're saying to your mind like, oh man, I feel full, but I don't want to waste the money, and you decide to eat the rest of the tacos or whatever else you bought, here's what you go through. Abdominal pain, all of that. Is there anything else we can do? Absolutely. But first, let's begin with the problem to understand the solution. If I tell you to go ahead and drink more water and eat more whole foods, what is that even going to do for you? However, if I say to have more whole foods because they have more fiber, it's because they make you feel fuller. Your gut, it takes much longer for fiber to be digested because your gut is feeding onto it. Trans fat from processed foods. So when you go to McDonald's, they add the oil and everything like that. Once you eat that, it confuses your gut-brain axis, your gut-brain communication. So you're going to be thinking that, oh, I need more McDonald's, when in reality, you wanted more water. And whole foods have a whole lot of water in them. They have water content. So you're literally feeding your body what it really wants. Now you're gonna start taking water more seriously, huh? Yeah, now when you see that water bottle or you see a water fountain, now you're gonna be trying to drink as much water as you can. By the way, follow me on Instagram. Alright, let's begin. Why does our body store fat? Back in the day, food was mad scarce. You had to hunt for it. There wasn't no McDonald's around the corner. So the food that you got was the food you was gonna eat. Also, there was no refrigerator to put it into, so you couldn't keep it for later. So you had to eat it right there and then. Those who didn't adapt to this way of storing fat often just died off and they didn't survive. So the people who actually survived stored the fat. That's what really helped us survive back in the day. Alright, in the modern day. As you can see right here, 73% of the US food in grocery stores are ultra processed. 73%. That's more than half of the foods in there. Probably except for Whole Foods, that place. And it is 52% cheaper than minimally processed foods. So not only is it really common in there, but it's also cheaper. Now, in the book Atomic Habits, the person was named James Clear who made it. Here's the 4 laws of habit addiction. Make it obvious. As you can see right here on his Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Once you go ahead and walk into a grocery store, you're gonna see a big sign of cereal down here. And you're gonna see a whole shelf of mad cereals. And as you can see here, look, this is how they make it attractive. They add all these colors. It actually turns out that red has an effect to increase your appetite. So that's why a whole lot of brands like to use red. That's why you see red on the bowl, on the text, and all that. Oh yeah, this is what also does to make it attractive. As you see at the top here, no high fructose corn syrup, no colors from artificial, all that stuff. It's making people be like, oh, this must be healthy. Oh yeah, this, that, and third. And then when they actually had to be honest and they had the nutritional value, you're gonna see a whole bunch of sugars and just a whole bunch of calories for a small amount. But we're not on there. Make it easy. Cereal is one of the most easiest meals to make. A 2-year-old can do it. I mean, hey, I put in 100,000 hours every morning getting the Cheerios, pouring the bowl, getting the milk. I became so good that I was able to match the ratio where whenever I get to the end, I didn't have too much milk or have only cereal to eat. I became so good because I was that addicted. Make it satisfying. I mean, they loaded with sugars. How would it not be satisfying? Now, why are sweets so addictive? Because they so gosh darn good. But specifically, let's take a look at this. Exhibit A, the insular cortex. It plays a role in food enjoyment and cravings. Reacts to chewing and texture influencing cravings. So when you eat something and you really like the texture of it, and you just keep eating it more and more and more, not necessarily for the taste, but just because the texture feels nice. If you go to a restaurant, they usually have bread as an appetizer. They put it on there, have some butter and things like that nature. What this does is that it makes you even more hungrier for the meal itself. That's what it's there for. Exhibit B, the same system within our body that craves sugar also craves amino acids. So if you have like a high sugar diet and you're not eating enough protein, you're going to want to eat more sugar. Exhibit C, trans fat and excessive sugars mess up the brain to gut communication. So with that McDonald's example earlier, you may be eating a whole bunch of McDonald's and you feel like you can't stop eating. The thing with dehydration and food is that with dehydration, you're trying to get away from the pain. You feel pain because you don't have enough water. While food, you feel the enjoyment. So while your body desperately just wants more water, you keep feeding it where a whole bunch of McDonald's now has a whole bunch of trans fat, the McChicken, the burgers. You keep binging it because you enjoy it. So you have the food and play with the enjoyment, and then the hydration. You're not feeding your body with water. Because when you go to McDonald's, let's be honest, are you going to be ordering a water with your meal? You're going to be ordering a Coke. I mean, even me personally, I go there and order a Diet Coke. However, the Diet Coke isn't necessarily water. Also, I had a friend back in the day. He used to only eat the meal first and then move on to the drink. So imagine that for him. Exhibit D. The effects of emulsifiers on gut health. Emulsifiers and processed foods harm gut health by affecting nutrient detection and appetite control. So in our gut, we have a whole bunch of bacteria. No worry, it's a good thing. If it removes it, that's a bad thing. You mean? It makes you feel more hungrier because your gut, your bacteria isn't being fed. And this can be even found in artificial sweeteners. What can we do about this? Let's move on to the diet. Here's some solutions. Alright, let's move on to our first solution. However you say that, whatever that name is, CCK is released from the GI tract and suppresses appetite. Just remember that CCK suppresses our appetite. Well, how can we trigger CCK? Omega-3 fatty acids. You can get it from the fish oil, from tuna, from salmon, all that stuff. That's why when I was eating a couple of days ago, I was eating salmon. I felt super full. I only ate half the meal. Salmon is super powerful on the fat loss journey. Even tuna. Tuna is cheap, so go ahead and add that to your diet. What else can trigger CCK? Amino acids helps regulate appetite by stimulating CCK release. Foods with amino acids, damn near everything, but more specifically, the animal-based sources and plant-based sources. Me personally, I'll go with the animal-based sources just because you get a whole lot more bang for your buck. When you eat chicken, you typically feel more full than if you ate like a salad, you feel me? So you got your chicken, your beef, even the tuna, and whatever meats you can think about. And then you got the rice, the black beans, and the eggs. All those have amino acids. Alright, let me walk you through the slide. Glucose and insulin. Eating fiber-rich foods first can blunt glucose spikes, reducing overall hunger. Fiber feeds the gut, making it take longer to digest, and that's what your body actually wants. Here's the foods high in fiber. Essentially just whole foods. Literally, you go to that one Whole Foods place that's mad far from your place, or close, depending on how rich you are. You got your vegetables, your meats, and your carbs. Glutamine stimulates CCK and reduces sugar cravings. Now, here's a trick that you could do. Let's just say you eat one donut, and that was your only plan, but you have a whole case of it, and you really want to grab the other one. Go ahead and get you a glass of water, or a plastic cup, or whatever it is. Go ahead and get a lemon, squeeze it in, get water, mix it in, drink it. That's going to reduce the chances of you wanting to grab that other donut and eat it. It may happen, but it just helps you with your willpower. Here's other foods high in glutamine, same as the other ones. Eggs, beef, I got the lemon here for the example, cottage cheese, the nuts, those kind of things. Now, these supplements have a minor effect, so don't think they're like as good as the other foods. But here's some things you could try. I personally, out of all these ones, like zinc the most. It makes me feel great when I wake up in the morning. Let's just say that. Magnesium and mate to support blood glucose management and appetite regulation. Now, let's move on to the next one. Consistency. Ghrelin and meal timings. So, you remember that feeling that you get when you were just working and stuff, and then you get hungry out of nowhere? Well, that's because probably during that same week or the previous week, you usually ate at that same time. And essentially, ghrelin, if you're not familiar with what it is, it's essentially the increased ghrelin you have, the more hungry you feel. The decreased ghrelin you have, the less hungry you feel, the more full you feel. You feel me? If you decide to eat at the same time every single day, then your ghrelin is going to increase at that certain amount of time. So if you can eat consistently on the same exact days, then you can feel less hungry throughout the day. And you can consider intermittent fasting or skipping a meal occasionally. So with fasting, that's essentially just not eating for 16 hours a day and having an 8-hour window where you eat. And if you want to adjust it, where you want to skip breakfast, try doing it in 45-minute increments so you don't experience that heavy ghrelin feeling that you get, that hungry feeling that you get. When you feel that pain there and you really want to eat, do it in 45 minutes. Or you could just cold turkey it and just go straight at it. Here's a bonus tip. Pause. Including zone 2 cardio, so essentially just getting on a treadmill or just walking, or resistance training, can manage glucose and improve appetite control. So that's exactly why after I get done with a workout, I don't really feel that, like, I get hungry, but once I'm eating it, it's like I'm not trying to fight everybody to get it. I'm not like in this monster zone. Oh yeah, I'm gonna eat that, I'm gonna eat this. I feel like once I eat the meal and I'm like halfway there, I just tend to feel very full. I'm pretty sure you're already exercising, but if you're not, this could be an OP trick for you. They're overpowered. Now here are the final takeaways. Let me walk you through the slide. Avoid most processed foods. Eat foods high in fiber. Eat foods high in glutamine. Eat foods high in amino acids. Eat foods high in omega-3 fatty acids. And drink a lot of water. Now, you have the information from the sacred scrolls of the forbidden monks. Now, you can go ahead and get your treasure. But first, you're going to be encountering a bunch of bad guys. First, you need a weapon. Go ahead and go to the nearest gunsmith nearby and pick this up. Tell them I sent you. And while you're over there, go ahead and follow me on IG. And with that being said, always take it one step at a time, because you may never know where that one step may lead you.